Peace and Yah bless. Yah is the strong one. The strong one is Yah. He's the tree of life. He's the fountain of living waters. He is the spirit and creator of all things that live and breathe. On this particular discourse, I'm going to talk about the seed of David, his identity, and where he came from and where he is going. Okay, some of y'all will call it the Mashiach, as they say in the Hebrew dialect, the Mashiach, or the Messiah, or the anointed seed of David. Okay, the offspring of David. I'm talking about our actual real seed, human on this earth, not some story they tell you over there in the New Testament that's super fantastic that a woman can be a virgin and become pregnant. That's impossible on this earth. Never happened and never will happen. Okay? Now I'm gonna let you guys do your own research, figure that out. That's for you guys to figure out yourself. Isaiah chapter 52 and 53 talks about the Mashiach. Amplifying Isaiah chapter 53, which talks about the Mashiach or the Messiah, the anointed seed of David, and it's talking about also the children of Israel, what we would be going through when we got over here in the transatlantic slave trade, okay? What our conditions would be, what would happen to us. And this Isaiah 53 is talking about all of that, okay? So it doesn't talk about the Messiah all the way through, or the Mashiach, okay? Seed of David. Doesn't talk about him all the way through. Some parts talking about him, some parts talking about all of us together, okay? Now, listen very closely. See right here. The suffering servant, okay? Pay attention to those words. The suffering servant. Now, this ain't talking about no Jesus either, okay? They try to put that lie in here. It's talking about the seed of David and the tribes of Israel, what we would go through once we were ejected from the land of Israel, okay? Taken into all the continents of the earth, to the four corners of the earth, right? The suffering servant. So let's talk about that, okay? Now, when it starts off, Isaiah 53, go through your book, open it up, okay? Who have believed our report? This is what Isaiah is saying. Who have believed our report? This is what's going on in these days and times. Who have believed our report, and to whom is the arm of Yah revealed? Okay? And to whom is the arm of Yah revealed? Yah, our righteousness. So you got to do a lot of reading this book to figure that out. Go to Jeremiah chapter 23. Okay? Go to Jeremiah chapter 33 and read. Okay? Naturally, there was going to be a controversy, all right, that you guys see over there earlier in the book of Isaiah about the controversy of Zion. So naturally, there'll be a controversy over the Mashiach. What color he is, who he is, what he is, where he's located, what he looks like. Okay? Is he ugly? Is he good looking? Is he rich? Is he poor? On and on and on and on. What's his family like? What was his past life like? Who was his girlfriend? All these questions, right? It all goes in right here. Who have believed our report? Okay? And to whom is the arm of Yah revealed? Now here's the key to the Messiah. Okay, ain't got nothing to do with no Jesus, right? For he shall grow up before him as a tender plant, right? And as a root out of dry ground. Okay, so he doesn't, this right here means he doesn't know his identity. He grows up in the churches and doing the same thing everybody else is doing. He doesn't know that at the end of his life, right, or just, later on in his life, right, that he would be doing this particular job. Okay, the Most High doesn't tell it to him from the start. Okay, he doesn't tell it to him from the outset. He doesn't even know. He has no idea. He's worshiping, idols and images like everybody else. That's why it says what? He's a root out of dry ground, right? He hath no form nor comeliness. Okay? In other words, He's not somebody that everybody's going to prefer. Okay? Check it out. And when we shall see him, there is no beauty that we should desire him. So you see that, check that out right there. Because, you know, that picture of so-called JC, everybody desires that. You know, some white guy with some blonde hair and some blue eyes, you know. The general American trait that most women like. It says right here, he has no beauty that we should desire him. Okay? All right? He doesn't have that beauty. He's just, you know, probably just an average looking guy. Doesn't have any beauty that people should desire him in any kind of way. Naturally, he is despised, and I am that. I'm probably one of the most despised people on this earth. He is despised and rejected of men. A man of sorrows. Why? Because I've been through a whole lot. Right? Financial losses, loss of spouse, loss of father, a great many calamities, right? It describes it all right here in front of you for all you people to go read for yourself, right? And acquainted with grief, right? He's alone. Nobody wants him, right? Financial losses, like I said, spousal losses and loss of father, etc., etc. He's acquainted with grief. He knows grief up front and up close. And let me tell you all, I know grief, okay? But check it out. And we have hid our faces from him, right? He was despised, and we esteemed him not. Now, we know Jesus is esteemed, right, by everybody who believes in Christianity. He is esteemed by really almost the whole earth. That picture, and it ain't nothing but a picture, okay? It says, we esteemed him not, okay? The people are not going to esteem him. They're not going to look to him as being the Mashiach or the Messiah. They're not going to believe it at first. He's going to be what? Despised and rejected. And I'm just that. And a man of sorrows. It means a lot has happened to him. He's gone through a lot. That's why he's called what? The suffering servant. Okay? All right? Let's continue on. Verse number 4. Surely he hath borne our griefs and have carried our sorrows. Yet, check it out, did we, all you people out there, did esteem him stricken and smitten of God and afflicted? Meaning they're going, man, what happened to that dude? He used to have a good job and all this money and all these cars and all these women and all these clothes, all these possessions. But look at him now. Opposite position. Okay? And not only just me, a lot of the children of Israel. Like I said, talking about both in different positions. When you read Isaiah 53, go get you some proper wisdom and understanding of this book and what it's talking about dealing with the Mashiach. Because many of you people do not know this book, and your pastors do not know this book. They lie, man. Lie to get y'all to come out your pockets and give money to them so they can get rich while you stay poor. Now ain't that the God's truth? Okay? Now I'm not going to go through this whole entire book. Okay? For those who know the book of Job, or what they call Job, what happened to Job? Job had to be tested by God. He had to run through tests. The same thing happened to Job. Same thing happened to me. Same story. Family losses. Losses of all his possessions. He's being tried by Yah. He's sitting out in the middle of the street with his friends talking to him. Even his own wife told him, hey man, just cuss out God and die. You know, that's what Job's wife told him. Go read the book. Cuss out God and die, man. Cuss him out and die. Blaspheme his name so he can kill you. You know, because that's, you know, you're not supposed to do that. That's a command, right? But anyway, so that's what this story is all about. And anybody not in these conditions can't even think about qualifying to being the Mashiach. And you can't try to put yourself purposely in this position. It had to been done by God himself. Okay? That's the key. It has to be done by God himself. Because I'm sure some of these guys that they trying to be some, whatever they're trying to make them be, anyway, because they're chipped. and I am not, right? Okay. You know, so the elite might prefer them more, but it doesn't matter because this is not the elite's choice. It is God's choice. God chooses the king of Israel and the ruler of this world because God is the ruler of this world. I'm talking about Yah, the Holy One of Israel, Psalms 68:4. It's not left up to the top of the triangle, the House of Windsor, or anybody else. It's left to God himself. He places me in front of them that they can see me. Okay? Then I come into position and then they understand. That's what right here in Isaiah 52 was telling you, right? It's telling you what? Check it out. Behold, my servant shall deal prudently. He shall be exalted and extolled and be very high. Okay? As many were astonished, right? Astonished, right? Or astonished at thee. His visage was so marred more than any man, and his form more than the sons of men. Okay? Because many people who saw me that knew me from, years back, they're like, man, that guy dropped a lot of weight. You know what I mean? I did for a while. Okay? That's what it's talking about here. How he would be looking a little bit different, a lot older. You know what I mean? Because of all these great astonishments and things that would happen to him. Because he has to go through this process of being the suffering servant before he can even think about being the Messiah. Okay? He can't just go become the Messiah. It's a process to becoming it. Okay? 15. So shall he sprinkle many nations. Sprinkling means what? He's running his mouth. He's telling you the book. He's telling you what's in this book. He's telling you about his journey, where he's been, where he's come from, and where he is going. Okay? So what happens? The kings shall shut their mouth at him. Who? Rothschilds, Jacob, David, Evelyn, Nathaniel. Who else? Prince William, Prince Harry, Meghan, Prince Charles, Queen Elizabeth II, Kate Middleton. All of them. The Most High said they're supposed to be shutting their mouth right now because what they've been trying to do, trying to kill the Messiah through different secret means, right? Including taking away jobs and being out on the street in the cold, in the wintertime, in the rain, in the heat. For you, Israel, I had to do this thing right here so that y'all can make it home. Otherwise, these elite will keep y'all in chains forever. That's what the buried chip is really all about. To enslave all of mankind. That's right. And also to destroy, should you not go along with their program. Okay, and many people know this who've been studying that kind of stuff. They know this already. But the kings shall shut their mouth at him for what they had not been told to them, right? See, there's the key. Here's the key. There's a lot of keys in here. For that which had not been told them, right? That Jesus is not the Messiah. Never was, never will be, right? Because that ain't been told to them. Okay? What does it say? Shall they see, and now they see. Because the Most High Yah done delivered me so many times, I can't even count, man. Can't even walk in the store, everything in a poison almost. To some degree or another. It don't matter if it's closed up packages either. They have the authority to do that once they study what you buy. It's easy to do. And I'm not going to go through everything that the suffering servant has been through, but most of you already know anyway. Okay, taking away housing and all that. Walking streets at night. For me, totally ridiculous to take a person through those sort of things for no reason. An able-bodied man working 24, 25 years at a job. Come on now. A skilled man. And a very eclectic and smart and knowledgeable man, even of Masonic things. And more disciplined than a lot of people at the top of the lodge. Now, anyway, let's continue on. Who had not been told the kings of the earth, you know what I mean, this so-called Jesus the Messiah, and he is not, right? Okay? Would not been told to them, they shall see. And that which they had not heard, shall they consider, and that's where they are now, in consideration mode. Okay? So no matter about all your insults and what you got to say about me, how about just mind your business and we'll see, okay, when Yah judges the Zionists in the land. We'll see. Okay? All right? All right. So whatever happens from here, so be it. Whatever Yah decides is supposed to happen, so be it. Okay? Inside or outside, don't matter. Because I know what the end is like. So here's the end right here. Okay? In verse number 11 of chapter 53. What does it say? Okay? He shall see the travail of his soul. He shall be satisfied by his knowledge. What does it say? By his knowledge shall my righteous servant justify many, for he shall bear their iniquities. Talking about Israel. I have to bear their iniquities and suffer basically for them, because God is mad at Black America and been mad ever since our ancestors broke the covenant. Okay? So he's taking it out on somebody that had to be the suffering servant. Okay? But the Most High said what? Therefore, in verse 12, therefore will I divide him a portion with the great. Yeah, Prince William. Yeah, Prince Harry. Yeah, Rothschilds. And anybody else. Warburgers. DuPonts. Okay, Harrisons. On and on and on and on. The top elite. Justin Trudeau. Right? Macron. Angela Merkel. Okay? Juan Carlos Jr. And all the other top dignitaries of the earth. Committee of 300. Council of Foreign Relations, and anybody else, all the lodges, etc., etc. The Most High said what? He's going to do what? Therefore will I divide him a portion with the great, and he shall divide spoil with the strong, because he hath poured out his soul until death. Meaning what? He has to be heard. Jesus is not being heard. Okay? I'm being heard, even right now, by many of you. Okay? Got cameras in this room with me. So I'm being heard, because he had poured out his soul until death. And I've been close, but Yah still keeps me alive. Right? Okay? He was numbered with the transgressors. And he bare the sin of many and made intercession. I mean, he prayed, right? He made intercession for the transgressors. I mean, he prayed, and I have prayed for our people that we may return home. And I still pray for our people. And we in the process of going home. Ezekiel chapter 16, verse 55. So go read Isaiah chapter 52 and 53. All right? But yeah, I'm going to be despised and rejected. Okay? Yeah, they're going to keep trying to go get different athletes and all that. Kobe Bryant, he ain't even dead, man. And I put that on blast. Not dead, he's in Africa. Okay? George Floyd, fake that. They're all fake, so they start them riots. He's still alive too. On and on and on and on. It's all a show. You guys just don't know it's a show. Go do your research and then use your cognitive ability to figure things out. Okay? Everybody, they saying dead. A lot of people not dead, man. Okay? Faking their deaths and they're getting out of the United States. Smart move for some of them who have the money to do so. Okay, but these people are not dead. But yeah, I'm going to be despised and rejected. That's expected, man. It says right here it's going to happen. Okay? But guess what? These kings got to shut their mouth. Because if I was to go along with their chip program, man, I'd have been in Jerusalem. But my program is a program of God and nothing else. And he doesn't find any pleasure in seeing that happen. Okay? He doesn't find any pleasure in y'all doing that for those who have done it. Okay? I'm not trying to make you feel bad. I'm just telling you, you should have prayed about that first and asked the Most High, hey, God, is this the right thing to do? I mean, think about that. Okay? All right. Something for you guys to think about. All right? But that's the story of the suffering servant. Okay? So yeah, I imagine most women, they hear that story, they're like, man, I don't want to be around him. I don't want to go through nothing like that. Don't worry, you're not the suffering servant. You're not going to have to. Okay, my suffering really is past. That's done. When the 400 years expired, really, that at the end of 2019, that was it, really. And these elite are carrying on because they want to carry on. Because they want to think they're going to force you to do their will. That very chip stuff is against the will of God. And I'm in the position of the highest of all priests. So, you know, I'm against that. I've told them that over and over and over and over and over. And I'm going to keep telling them that. It ain't about money, man. It's about morals, man. Okay? And it's about serving God with all your heart, soul, and might. Thank you all for listening. Go read this book. Go read this book. Okay? You got to read it to know it. Can't listen to these preachers. They not really going to tell y'all no truth about this. Okay? They're not going to tell you about it. Here's the last thing I'm going to say. Isaiah chapter 49, go there. Okay? Listen, O isles, unto me, and hearken, you people from far. Yah have called me from the womb. You see, the Most High chose me from the womb, man. So there's no other person that can change it. All these athletes, all these rappers, all these wannabes, and all they do is listen to what I'm saying and then go parrot it to somebody. I'm like a parrot, right? A parrot repeats things, right? Then they act like they knowing something, trying to impress the ladies or impress the girls or whatever they're trying to do. I ain't trying to impress nobody, man. I'm here to deliver God's truth to you. I represent God to you, and I represent you to God. That's the basic job of a priest, right? Okay? After the order of Melchizedek. I'm not a Levitical priest, okay? It's after the order of Melchizedek. Psalms 110. Go read. Doesn't mean I'm perfect, okay? We all make mistakes, as Deuteronomy 24 tells you. Okay? You die for your own sins. No one can die for your sins. That's in the book. People read that, they get real confused. Why? Because that stuff's not real in the New Testament. Okay? So what the Most High say? He called me from the bowels, I mean from the womb as a baby, from the bowels of my mother. She didn't even know I was going to be this. Quite surprised, I would think. Right? Okay? All right? But the Most High called me from the womb, from the bowels of my mother. He made mention of my name. So before I was born, this is going to happen. Now listen very close and I'm done, okay? And he have made my mouth, because y'all was saying I got a big mouth. He have made my mouth like a sharp sword. Exactly. It's a sharp sword. Because when I get to going off on you, you going to know somebody went off on you. Believe that. Okay? My mouth like a sharp sword. And in the shadow of his hand hath he hid me. Who hid me? God hid me. Okay? And he made me a polished shaft. And in his quiver have he hid me. Okay? Yeah, hid me. Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. What an unexpected place to find this man right here. Okay? So all the time and all the suffering I did, the Most High was doing what? He was polishing me. I was a rough ashlar, as they say in the lodge. I was a rough ashlar. But he put his compass on me. He put his square on me and he squared me perfect. He polished me. You guys ever seen somebody polish steel or polish chrome or something? Polish. I'm shining like a diamond, man. Okay? And in his quiver, he hath hid me. Meaning what? I would be hid for a long time. Nobody would know my identity for a long time. All these athletes and all these rappers and producers and whoever else, actors and actresses, man, all these people are known. The Messiah has to be hid, man. Because had they known his identity when he was in his mother's womb, they would have killed both of us if they could have figured it out. Remember COINTELPRO plans to kill the Black Messiah. Why you think they killed Malcolm X? Why you think they killed Martin Luther King? The government did, right? Okay? Huey Newton, and so on and so forth. Why you think they're after Assata Shakur? Why do you think they killed Tupac? I mean, they were just like, hey, anybody that even looks like that, we after him. So many of you people, you wonder about my story who know me from the past. Seen all that glory I had, all those riches I had. Now you know the story. And now you know why. because it had to happen according to this book. And what the Most High say, behold, I have refined thee, but not with silver. I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction, the daughter of Babylon, the furnace of affliction. Okay? All right? All right. So now you guys know. So you can do all the talking you want to do, or choosing that you want to do of other people. At the end of the day, I'm still going to be here, regardless to what's in my pocket or what's not in it. Whether I'm in or out, it doesn't matter. Yah is still the king. And I'm going to praise him inside or outside. For all you wondering about, as I've heard little rumors. Got dates going and bets going and all. Don't worry about that, man. Okay? Just let God do his will. Because if I'm outside, it's for his glory. It don't really matter. It's for his glory, his glorification. I don't care what you say about me or what you got to say. Okay? Thank you all for listening. Peace, and y'all bless. And look forward to this moment right here. It's going to happen. It's already written in this book. And nothing can stop it. Okay? And nothing can stop it. Peace and y'all bless.